Hello and welcome to the Darren Green Show, your one-stop shop for celebrity gossip, news and music, pop culture, and the latest gab on social media. Be sure that if you are watching this on YouTube to leave your thoughts in the comments, leave a like. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, what's going on, girls? Subscribe to that damn channel. Okay. Also, for the audio listeners, hey, how are y'all doing? Be sure to rate this podcast and leave a review. We love those. Shout out to everybody that's watching or listening across all the platforms and all the areas in the world. Honey, we're worldwide. What Candy Bird said, honey, we worldwide, okay? Period. I'm just shooting my shit, you know what I'm saying, on a Wednesday. This is going to come out on Thursday for the 4th of July. Yeah, look, about that. Let's talk. We need to debrief for a little bit. Yeah, okay, so before I was doing Monday and Wednesday shows and then tentative Fridays, we're going to keep it 2 podcasts a week because let me tell you something, me doing that while I'm working at this dang job, okay, it is a lot, honey, it is a lot. And then also from the Monday and Wednesday shows, it's not enough time for me to get new topics. Like the topics are still fresh when I'm talking about them on Monday. Usually for my second episode of the week, like I want to make it so like everything that I missed on Monday and Tuesday is covered in the next podcast in the week. So I'm going to do 2 episodes and it's going to be on Mondays and Thursdays. Now, I didn't want to mention this, but because I wanted to wait till I have everything together. But I'm going to have a membership plan soon. I'm just going to drop that. That was a surprise that I talked about last episode. We're doing like a membership thing. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. I have some ideas of what I want to call it. And I have working with outsourcing some creatives to essentially create the things that I need to create for it. But yes, you will. Darren Green Show will have a membership on YouTube only, whatever. So in that case, people that are subscribed to that will get it earlier. And also for the Monday shows, you'll get it on Sunday. Or anytime I'll have to post, you guys will be the first to receive it. And then the next day or next couple hours, depending on what type of video it is, it'll be, for the public of everybody. And it'll be 99 cents. 99 cents is not that much. Okay, we'll talk more about that when it comes to fruition. Okay, so we're going to put a pin on that. I ain't want to mention it, but at this point, it is taking a bit long for things to get moving and shaking with that. So I'm still, working with things. So yeah, that's what's happening. We're going to do Mondays and Thursdays. And I think that's good. And I'll post around, if I need to post something like I did the BET video because I felt like it happened on Sunday. I don't want to wait till I do the taping on Wednesday and then give it to you on Thursday. You already saw the BET. We already heard about it. We do have some topics. I call it the aftermath of the BET, like all the side things that happened, the backlashes that people got, things that happened after the show. But in regards to BET, it was what it was. Okay. To really get back to that though, because there was a topic that was talked about, and I'll talk about this very briefly for the intro before I get into any of the hot topics that I got potted up. But there was this conversation surrounding this is too much. It's too much shaking of the what's and twerking and the sexual content that we were getting from the BET Awards. There's no happy medium. Where's the Rhapsody? Where's the so-and-so that don't show her ass? You know what I'm saying? And I think that it's just, we have this conversation every year. And and I wish I would have said this on the video because, I just wasn't thinking about talking about this yet because I didn't think people were still having conversations like this. We have this conversation every year at this point because if they didn't have Sexy Red or if they didn't have Ice Spice twerking or the twerkers and all the people that do the sex appeal stuff, then it'll be boring. Then people be complaining about that. BET cannot win for losing. And y'all got me defending BET. First of all, I don't care about that platform. But at the end of the day, they can't win for losing. At the end of the day, there needs to be a happy medium. If you're going to show Sexy Red, then yeah, put on Rhapsody afterwards. But you did have that, but y'all just don't want to see it. Y'all came for Will Smith when he did his little inspirational song thing, whatever, and he brought out Kirk Franklin and the church people. Y'all always make jokes on social media, and I sound like I'm yelling, but I'm sorry, I don't mean to be yelling. But every time Kirk Franklin comes on or anything that's, we got to turn off this church stuff, they took us to church on BET, or anything else that's positive, we make jokes on social media saying, time to turn the channel. But now when you see a lot of ass shaking And a lot of female rappers doing their thing, it's, oh my goodness, like it's too much, it's too much, it's too much. But you was looking at it. You're not looking at the stuff that doesn't pertain to that. So I think that there should be a happy medium. I think that there should be people that are pro-sex. I ain't no prude. Okay, at the end of the day, get it how you live it. If that's who you are, that's who you are. And I think that there should be room for people that don't do that are like a Rhapsody or whoever else that doesn't have sex appeal, whatever. And another thing, I find it so funny that the tributes, I think there was like one male tribute for Usher. All women. I don't know what that is. I don't know why that happened, but okay. All right. But am I live? I don't know if this is going to come out in post, but that was weird. Like, I had to look at the screen. I'm like, girl, am I live? Did I go live accidentally, girl? Anyway, girl, sorry for the audio listeners. I just had something had just popped up on my screen, girl. Lost my damn train of thought. Oh, so basically what I was talking about when it comes to there was mainly female rappers, or not female rappers, but female artists doing Usher's tribute. And that just says a lot about R&B in the male community today. Like, where y'all at? Where's the Giveons? Where's, what's his name? Bryson Tillers? Where was y'all at? Where y'all niggas at? Y'all need to do better. But anyway, that's all I have to say about that. We can get into the initial topic. Like I said, we have a couple of topics that are kind of like the aftermath of the BET Awards. We got to talk about Keith Lee and the whole situation with Taraji. Taraji done responded. And we're about to get into it. And I'm going to give you my final thoughts on that whole matter and never talk about this again. Then we also got to talk about how Angela Simmons apologized for sporting a gun clutch. We'll talk about that. Ray J acting a fool. A goddamn fool, and he had made some suicidal comments on social media. We'll get into that. And then we'll also talk about this presidential immunity situation, because we got to keep it political. These are stranger times, and it's even stranger that I'm actually invested in talking about politics remotely, and this is just surface level. I'm not going to be doing deep dive. I don't know. Like I said, this podcast will change. You might see me do some breakdowns and stuff like that, because the way this country is set up, girl, somebody need to spread the word, child. Anyway, all that and more coming up on the Darren Green Show. We can get started with our first topic. Now, I wanted to get into the whole Keith Lee and Taraji P. Henson situation. We're going to timeline everything, and then I'm going to give you guys my thoughts. Okay? Now, let me share the screen chat. It essentially all started when Keith Lee felt some type of way that Taraji mistaken somebody else for him at the BET Awards. Okay, so apparently there was some type of skit that they were doing. Taraji P. Henson was passing out roses, a way for, it was like a gesture that she was flirting with the front row seat people. It was something that Keith Lee was, hey, this little clip is gonna go live on television and stuff like that, so just play along with it, this, that, and the third. The problem was, and now from what I'm hearing is that Keith Lee last minute changed his seat. And of course, Taraji P. Henson doesn't know who these people are. Taraji P. Henson is Taraji P. Henson. She has millions of things to worry about other than some influencer that's on TikTok that's being invited for numbers. You get what I'm saying? Basically, she got the name wrong. She called somebody else. I want to say his name is Ronnie. I don't know the other creator's name, but I've seen him before. Here's the video.
The Method Man look-alike. Method's married, are you? Hi, how are you? Mr. Keith Lee, I know what you're thinking right now.
So look at his
about
expression.
a 10.9 out of a 10? I got caught up in my own inner monologue. I'm so sorry. You're thinking this is a 10.9 out of 10. My bad. You fine too, so call me. Give him his flower.
Now, I ain't gonna lie now. Watching that was a little cringy because not the wife, the wife sitting right there, child, and you giving him roses, first of all, flirting him, calling him. I was like, Taraji, you too messy. You cannot be doing that. I thought that the skit shouldn't have happened at all. I get why they did it. They invited him. They put him in the front row seat, I guess now, because, oh my God, Keith Lee is on at the BET Awards. Let's go watch. Some of his base is going to come over and watch the show, ratings, this, that, and the third. We know why. None of the juggernauts in the industry, none of the bigger celebrities, the big icons are going to these shows anymore. They got to ask these influencers and content creatives to beef up morale and see if they can spike up numbers any way, shape, or form, because they damn sure camera and getting it to what they've been doing. So apparently things got started after Keith Lee made a post. Okay. He made a post after the whole situation, basically throwing the rose that was given to him by Taraji P. Henson's entourage. And he basically said in the caption, "Our name will be known in every room it's supposed to be in with no confusion." And then he took the time to thank God and all that. You got to thank God every time, Chad. Every time we about to do something real shady, real sassy, real diva-ish, we be like, you know what, thank God. Because I'm here. After getting backlash from that sassy response, he posted a video. I'm going to play it. I might stop midway because he's saying a whole lot of nothing. Not that he's saying a whole lot of nothing. It could have just been 15 seconds, honestly, because what he was saying, it was just like, girl. Okay. So this is what he had to say in response. I guess he got backlash after he threw the rose and made that little sassy response. Now, this is what he said.
It was the BT Awards, and right now, it's something on my mind. Let's talk about it. First and foremost, I want to start by saying I am not upset at Taraji P. Henson by any stretch of the imagination. And not only that, in my opinion, she smoked it last night. I don't think for one second Taraji had any ill will or any ill intentions behind the situation happened the way it did. It is what it is. I made a video last night where I had the rose that was given to me in my hand and I let it fall on the floor. The reason I did this had nothing to do with Taraji P. Henson. The reason I dropped it on the floor is that I wholeheartedly believe that wasn't my rose. That wasn't my rose. That wasn't my moment. It was given to me, but it wasn't mine. And I always say, I don't want nothing that ain't mine. I want what's meant for me, nothing less, nothing more. The entire segment on the production side felt extremely rushed. Not only did it feel rushed, it did not feel intentional. It did not feel purposeful. I'm forever thankful for every room that I'm in. I was more than thankful and more than grateful to just sit there and enjoy the show. Me and my wife, we looked amazing. We felt amazing. We was enjoying the show. I've always spoke about my social anxiety. And for me, just to get out and be in that moment was more than enough for me. So to take me and my wife out of our seat.
All right, now you just heard that bull crap. So Taraji P. Henson recently made a response. She said in the comment, okay, and I'm gonna zoom in for this too. Life is really too short for this behavior. He wasn't in his seat. They give celebrity assigned seats. I rehearsed all damn day to go hit my mark. And that young man wasn't in his seat. So he missed his moment. Okay, his ego is hurt. He will be fine. I've cleaned it up at the end of the show. No love lost. Hashtag God bless. Ooh, not the God bless too. Look, here, okay, come on now. Here's the thing, right? Let's get to the breakdown. Let's get to the breakdown. I done said everything that happened. It wasn't a big deal. I agree. It was not a big deal. That's what the video that Keith Lee said. He said it was not a big deal. It wasn't this, that, and the third. If it wasn't a big deal though, why bring it up in the first place? It seemed like it was, and I don't care. And even if it was, and I know a lot of people call him sassy. I mean, I did call him sassy too on my little TikTok video, or whatever. But if he would have just owned it and been like, you know what? Yeah, I was pissed because you forgot my name and y'all asked me to come here because I'm pretty sure he didn't want to come. I'm pretty sure he was asked to come to do this little skit to boost up morale or boost up numbers and stuff like that. And then you forgot my name. That could be aggravating. I can understand why he's aggravated, but it's just the way that he responded and just like the way that he just threw the rose and be like, oh, my name is going to be always, what'd he say, child? What'd he say, child? Our name will always be in every room it's supposed to be in. It's supposed to be like, okay, girl, read, okay, like the hell? Let's keep it a buck though. For you, you were given front row seats to a show full of icons. Okay, and you get mad because you got a little pissy because them icons didn't know you. Okay, they're not on TikTok. Okay, they doing icon shit, and this is not me trying to whatever to screw them too because they could be problematic as well. But I'm just saying you can't. It's big bank take little bank. Okay, and I ain't trying to line nobody's pockets and nothing like that. I'm just saying let me just say this: big fish eat little fish. Okay, let me just say that. Like, you got to understand the reason why you're sitting there is because of the big icons. They're not present in the room. If they were there, you wouldn't be there. So I'm not just trying to sit there and say that to be mean, but I got to be honest. Okay. Now, I feel like influencers, they have got over the years, they have gotten really entitled And I'm happy now that people get to go to these events. We see a lot of smaller influencers or content creators. They go to fashion weeks. They do red carpet appearances. Not appearances, they be on the red carpet talking to the celebrities, the real lucky ones, the ones that get invited to. I think that's amazing. And that's a really good thing because you know what? They really, it wasn't like that back then. You get what I'm saying? Not with the influencers and content creators of before. Content creators today can do that type of stuff, and that's amazing. But I feel like there's a lot of entitlement. There's a lot of entitlement. And I think what's happening here, I think what we saw with this situation is this is a person that has always consistently got validation from his base, from the general public, because people used to say, oh my God, Keith Lee don't bother a soul, this, that, and the third. We was with him with the whole Candy Burris and calling out these Black-owned restaurants because they were, see this check mark, I don't know what's going on. These Black-owned restaurants doing their thing and not doing good business, and you calling them out. That was some real shit. You get what I'm saying? And you made that thing like, oh, I'm not no celebrity, I shouldn't be getting no special treatment, this, that, the third. You doing all that, you saying all that, you don't want to be a celebrity, you don't want to have the fame, this, that, and the third. You're a regular person, but you got mad when you were treated like a regular person. They ain't know your name. Sorry. I get my name misconstrued all the time. You get what I'm saying? So it's a bit inconsistent. It's giving character flaw. At this point, we not keeping it the same. And I love you, El Teddy. I gotta steal your words. For you to sit there and backpedal and pussy pop and try to say that, oh, it's production. I felt like this whole thing was ran wrong and stuff like that. And it's always, oh, the energy wasn't right. I'm so sick of you energy hoes. Honestly. Oh my goodness, the energy. Oh, I'm not feeling it. This person is giving me a bad vibe. He's looking at me wrong. And when it's really just somebody just doing their job and they just look nervous. Some people just look nervous. You get what I'm saying? Some people just look a certain way. That's a whole nother conversation. But for you to indirectly come for production, it's a direct reflection of Taraji. We just saw Taraji's response. She said that she worked hard on getting her lines right. We know that the hosts, they don't do everything behind the scenes, but they have a hand in production. So coming for production is indirectly coming for her. So really with your whole response saying it wasn't about Taraji, it doesn't carry any merit because you were coming for Taraji. That whole rose dropping thing. You get what I'm saying? It was about her, but I think because you got the backlash that you're not used to, like I said before, that's when it became a problem. And for that, And I'm not gonna say I was a fan of him. It's like I get into his content. Like I watch some of his stuff. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, ugh, screw him, like scroll past or anything like that. He's still an interesting creative and he does like a really good job with his food reviews and stuff like that. But you getting the side eye. You could have just said nothing. You could have literally said nothing. And that's the problem. You chose to say something. You chose to make a video about it. But it's all, like I said, back when I made the TikTok video about that streamer that was saying that everybody's outfits were trash. You got to remember, these people got to make content. This was definitely good for his numbers. People are probably looking at Keith Lee now. There was a video going around of, the dude. So, this guy that he calls celebrities, it's his thing. Like he calls celebrities that he sees on the street like somebody else on purpose. And bad timing because he tried to do that with Keith Lee and it looked like Keith Lee was about to really fight him. Now y'all gotta remember, he has social anxiety and he also is like a former MMA fighter. You shouldn't have did this. No, you see how his security guard had to get him? Y'all gotta be careful. Be careful out there. But this is good for his numbers. And I think that's another thing too. I think, and I don't mean to break the fourth wall, but maybe it's just coming from another content creative. You make your whole life your content. This sort of thing happens. You got my name wrong. My moment was messed up. Let's go viral with it. Let me be mad. You get what I'm saying? And cause all this conversation and shoot. If that's the case, then that's the case. Sure, fine, okay. We all eating off of this because we all making content about the situation. So I don't know, girl. It was definitely giving diva moment, and it just get out of here, Chad. I'm tired of it. Let's move on. Now, another thing that happened during or after the show, child, there was a lot of backlash that an Angela Simmons got for initially toting that iron. Well, she wasn't toting the iron, child. She got a lot of backlash after she did the BET Awards red carpet where she wore a gun-propped purse. Okay. And some people thought that it was inappropriate considering the fact that she lost her baby daddy to gun violence. Others thought that it was tasteless because gun violence should never be something that's glorified, talked about, or not talked about because it needs to be talked about, but glorified. And she initially made her response video. Let me see if I got it. Yeah, this is the initial video.
I see a lot of conversation around the bag, the purse I wore to the awards. And normally I don't address like rumors and stuff, but I'm not like that. Never been like that. I'm not violent. I've obviously been through a lot in my personal life when it comes to gun violence, and it's very personal to me, but I just liked the bag and I thought it was cool and I thought it was a fashion moment, and that was it. I didn't have any intentions of ruffling anyone's feathers. It seems like everyone's, or a couple of people, I'll say, are a little upset, but I don't mean no harm. I'm super, super peaceful, and yeah, I'm sorry if it bothered anyone, but that's not me. That's just not how I am.
Yeah. And then she also made like another response. It's like a long paragraph. I'm not even going to begin to, I'm pretty sure she's probably saying or trying to apologize to the fans or anybody that was really offended or whatever. But can I be honest? It was never that serious. And I'm not talking about Angela Simmons because she's doing what she needs to do. You get what I'm saying? She's a hot, I don't know who she, and I'm not trying to be shady or anything like that, but I don't know much about her, but I'm pretty sure she is a celebrity and that she wants to keep a good rapport with, I guess, the general public. So yeah, you're going to make an apology and you're going to make another apology and you're going to apologize until people forgive you. But I felt like why do you have to explain yourself for doing something that was not that deep? Okay. It'd be one thing if she really did come up here with a gun. Didn't CeeLo Green do that? He did get backlash because he actually had guns. It was like, or it was real looking. We can tell that thing wasn't real. It was a purse. Okay, a gun clutch. It's not that deep. Okay, if you want to have a conversation about glorifying guns and stuff like that and all this other stuff, okay, fine. But I don't know. I just felt like I wanted to find the backlash because I'm looking at the comments. I'm looking at comments across all social platforms, Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked. I went on Twitter, all this stuff. And I'm like, where is the backlash? Where is these people saying that this was such a big deal or a problem or whatever? And for y'all to look, I'm pretty sure there was some people that were saying it, but it wasn't like, girl, the majority was saying, oh, okay. All right. She got a gun purse. It's just not that deep. I don't know. And me saying this, I'm not pro gun or NRA or anything like that. Like, nah, gun laws need to be way more stricter than it is. Let's be very clear. But I just felt like this was just not that deep. Am I wrong? Am I right? Tell me what y'all think in the comments. We can move on. Now, another topic that has to deal with the aftermath of the BET, Ray J. What is happening? Okay, so I got this article from TMZ that I'm going to read. So it basically said Ray J really was going through it at the BET Awards, and now we have a video to back it up. It's a full meltdown with him threatening to make things ghetto after security allegedly denied him re-entry to the show. Now, the footage obtained by TMZ shows Ray pacing around Sunday night outside the award show at the Peacock Theater, downtown Los Angeles, and he's getting more and more animated. Now, Ray appears to be arguing with some security guards, and he's overheard complaining about not being able to go back inside, and things escalate to a point where he rips off his shirt and declares, "I didn't bring the ghetto to BET yet, but I'm about to." Okay, in the parts of the video, he is holding a beverage, and other times he's appearing to be smoking something, okay? All while visibly upset. Now, sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ, That Ray was hired by BET to host 3 events throughout the weekend, including a backstage access show Sunday night, which is when the video was shot. Now, while Ray was filming backstage for BET Digital, he kept going back and forth between inside and outside his breaks without wearing his credentials, and that was the problem. He didn't have the credentials, so they didn't let him in. Now, our sources say Ray went out about 15 minutes, including some trips with the executives entering and exiting through a door right next to the stage. But we're told that about 30 minutes before the award show was ending, the same security guard posted at the door finally took issue with Ray not wearing his credentials and told him that he'd be doing it all night and wasn't going to be allowed to be back in at the time. Now, the timeline suggests that this was when Ray J was spotted outside the show getting animated in the parking lot. Other sources say that Ray thinks there's a racial element to this. I'm looking at it. I'm like, where the security? These security guards all look black. Okay, there's one white guy right there. I'm like, girl, what's racial? Claiming the security guard who allegedly wouldn't let him in was white. Okay, so he's saying the security guard was white. Later that evening, Ray J nearly got into a street brawl at the BET Awards after party and then poured out his emotions in an alarming social media post referencing the dispute and saying that he was suicidal. Now, this little fight that was that with Lumina 4 or Liminal or whatever the hell that man name is, the dude that owns Zeus, because I heard there was some type of altercation or argument that was going on when the after show of the BET Award. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. I'm not going to, this is all alleged, but I remember there was something going on. Now, my thing is this, you suicidal. Okay, hold on. It got that serious. I think Ray J, and I'm trying to be serious, but if he feeling like that, child, he needs to lean on Ayanna Van Zandt's bosom at this point, the infamous, because something is up, okay? Because I was looking at the videos, I was looking at the footage. I'm like, you are acting irate, and for what? Now, I think that it is stupid that, okay, first of all, why you got, and I'm not trying to say he's a big name, because he is. He's Ray J. Everybody know who Ray J is. Come on, Brandy brother. He made a name for himself way after being Brandy's brother. But my thing is this. Y'all know who he is. Why does he need his credentials with him to get back in? If he want to go back out and in and out and in, as long as he not bringing nobody foreign there, as long as he not bringing, y'all know who he is. So why does he need his credentials? That just didn't make sense to me. But it doesn't excuse his outburst. So I think that what happened was security was telling him something, and Ray J got a little irate because you know how these celebrities get real entitled. Okay, and then the security was like, oh, you ain't got to go in then. You ain't going in. And that's how the whole thing started. Because look, I was about to work in security. I would never, ever, ever work with celebrities as a security guard. Are you crazy? No, absolutely not. So I just know Ray J was giving that man a hard time, probably. The racial stuff, anybody can say that nowadays. He could have just been doing his job, child. Look. But this is serious, though. He's having suicidal thoughts. I think that he needs to get that checked out and really talk to somebody. But like at the end of the day, girl, just wear your credentials next time, okay? Maybe he didn't know who he was. Maybe it was another Justin Timberlake moment, child, where the damn cop didn't know who he was and stuff. Girl, a whole mess. Anyway, is there anything else? I think that's it. I think that's it when it comes to the BET and all the after things. We can move on. Now, I wanted to talk briefly about Meg Thee Stallion because, okay, so album predictions they're not out. It's the predictions, okay? The popular chart tracker page on Twitter called Chart Data, they predict that Megan's self-titled album is going to take the number 3 spot on the Billboard Hot 200. And I'm happy. I'm looking at some of the comments. They being real shady and stuff like that. Like at the end of the day, Megan Thee Stallion, this is better numbers than before. They're looking at 65K units sold, which is a big improvement from her last. Hers, I think Traumazine was like 20 something. 30 something, 40 at the max. This is good. It's gonna be number 3, which is okay, and it's top 10, please, top 5 actually. And I love that for her. I'm glad that she's able to do that. The album is doing, surprisingly enough, the album is picking up. Like, I felt like I was a little worried the first 2 days it came out, like that Friday and then that Saturday. I'm like, okay, there is no noise. But there is a lot of rave reviews. iTunes is picking up on iTunes. I don't know how, I don't really track Spotify like that, but iTunes I do. Shout out to her. She created a good body of work. I think that it deserves all the highlights, all the things, all the whatever. But people, if it's not a number one, honey, it's a flop. And I think people need to stop doing that. People really need to stop saying that if something is not number one, then it's a flop. That does not mean that. There are other songs, there are other artists that are coming out and doing their thing. And sometimes you just don't get the number one spot. Sometimes it might be number 2 or number 3, number 4, number 5, honey. At least it's not low. Okay, let's be clear. This is definitely a good start. Maybe the next album will do better. Who knows? But shout out to my girl Meg Thee Stallion. Okay. Now this is an older topic that I wanted to, Carol, we ain't gonna get into that yet, honey. This is an older topic that I wanted to get into, child. Not Deb and Nicki. Deb, Waka Flocka Mom, child. Girl, they got into it, girl. Now I did talk about this on TikTok, but I guess we can talk about it again. So Nicki Minaj essentially calls out Deb after following a recent interview where Deb revealed that she reached out to Lil' Kim to squash the beef between the two, and it didn't really work out. So here is the initial clip from the interview that Deb did.
Ever be willing to try to get her to sit down with possibly Cardi B and Lil' Kim to try to mend their differences? I would love to see that. I would love to see them all come together.
I think that we all would love to see that, but people would have to be willing to do that. And to be perfectly honest with you, she's going to kill me for even saying this, but I did reach out to Kim.
Okay.
And
it's just
so I think that.
Would you ever be willing to?
Yeah, basically Nicki responded and she said, I didn't ask you to do a thing, okay? You told me after the fact and I screamed onto you, told you that if you reach out now that you're seeing around me, they will think that it's coming from me. So to never say that or do that again without discussing me first, I said I never wanted that, and now she think that the message came from me, which is not cool. Okay, she also continued by saying that, yeah, you laughed it off and said that her and Foxy should come on the stage, and I only want Foxy to come on. She's like family to me, no disrespect. God bless everyone, our children. Let us all do our thing and thank God for life. Stop using me as clickbait in 2024. Okay, we get it. And then she was like, how dare you? Interviews, child, the world, man, this world. Okay, here's the thing. I don't think Deb was using Nicki for clickbait, or maybe she was. At the end of the day, these interviewers, they ask questions. Questions get asked. Deb doesn't seem the type to have like a PR team to be like, hey, don't ask this question. So it probably just came off like, boom. So what about Nicki Minaj? Have you got them to mend their, like that? And my thing is this, it's like, why y'all, this is not me coming for Deb. Why y'all asking people that? Why do y'all still want, this is an age-old beef. Now we talk about Kim and Nicki. I don't know about any other girls that she beef with. That's still too fresh. Kim and Nicki are not beefing no more. They are done, but that don't mean that they got to be friends because it's fake now. Because then it's going to be fake. Okay, y'all just getting whatever. Y'all getting back together, or y'all being close and cool because of X, Y, and Z. It's always like it's going to be an ulterior motive. People are going to make those speculations anyway. It's just not going to come off authentic. At the end of the day, these two girls do not get along, but they're not beefing no more. They're over. Both of them are over it. I mean, we did see Kim say that she would want to do a versus with Nicki. I don't know. Maybe something was in the works for them to talk things out, which just makes no sense. You know, they never had a relationship that was warranted. Let's have this sisterhood moment and come together. Like, it's just Deb, and I said this on a TikTok video earlier this week. The problem is, and I don't know if Deb is a Libra or not, but that is some Libra ass shit. We love to help our friends mend fences with each other. Like when we see two people that we are close to, we see them beef, or not close, but that we like are beefing. We feel like it's our job to sit there and try to be the mediator and try to get them back in good graces with each other. And all the while, it never works, and then they both are mad at you. I don't do that shit no more, okay? I'm done with that. I'm like, if you beefing with this person, then y'all figure out y'all own shit. Okay, I'm so done with that. But I mean, it's the Libra in me to want to, try to be a media. I used to want to be like one of those, what they call it, what them people call, they go a shrink or something, like not a shrink, but like maybe like psychiatrist or something like that for like marriages or families or whatever, interventions and all that. But I'm like, yeah, no, I ain't doing that. But like, it's Deb, you could have kept your mouth shut, honestly. And the fact that and you said just that, she said she gonna get me for this. Yeah, yes, she did. Okay. I think Deb made a response too. She was on her social platforms making like innuendos saying that, oh, when you hurt me or you do this or you do that. Look, she told you not to speak to her on her behalf. And I think somewhere in there, Nicki said, oh my goodness, Deb, she still treat me like I'm a child again. I thought that was so cute though. It was like a little, when you beef with your mom for a little bit because you stepping ahead of yourself a little bit and you got to remember that I'm grown. Like that was a cute little thing. I think that, I don't think that this is beef that they got right now. I just think that this is a little bit of a bicker. And I don't know if she's going to have Deb around like that anymore because look, let me tell you something. You over here talking to the ops. But I don't think this is going to be like too much of a big deal. I just wanted to mention it because it was something that was talked about this week. We can move on to our last topic because I got to get up out of here. I got to eat, honey. I got to eat. And we got to talk about this goddamn presidential immunity. Now, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you something. Okay. I don't get political ever. I do get political sometimes if it's warranted for me to get political. Okay. So the fact that I'm even talking about this and making this a real big, this is serious. Okay, now I'm going to read this little excerpt and I'm going to tell you guys my thoughts, okay? Now, this Monday, the Supreme Court ruled that presidents are entitled to immunity from prosecution for official acts committed while in office. Now, the ruling came in response to the case involving former President Donald Trump and his alleged actions in the final days of his presidency. Now, the Supreme Court's ruling clarifies that while presidents have immunity for official acts, not all acts are considered official. It is now up to the lower courts to determine which acts qualify for immunity. Reacting to the breaking news, Trump hailed this decision as a big win for our Constitution and democracy. And he added on Truth Social online, the online platform that launched, proud to be an American. So that's what he said. This is actually crazy, guys. This is actually terrifying. The fact that this is not getting a lot of media attention right now, the fact that I'm looking at the news and I'm like, what's going on? Why are we not talking about this? Or why are we not talking about this? Because let me tell you something. This is not something that should be taken lightly, right? Even Biden was pissing me off, and I'm going to tread lightly on talking about Biden because I felt like right now we just need to get him in. We need to get him in. I'm all my feelings for him is aside for this particular election because he needs to get in this. Okay, let's be very clear. I just didn't like when he said, I will respect the limits of my presidential powers. Why? Why when no one else is? Seems to be like no one else is respecting the limits of their powers. At the end of the day, we need to get just like them. Okay, this whole notion that Michelle Obama, and shout out to Michelle, I love you to death, but when you made that comment, it really set the tone for how the Democrats really act in the whole, oh, when they go low, we go high. That crap was back when there was a level of ethics in politics. At this point, if they go low, we need to be going to hell. Okay, let's be very clear. I'm this whole, oh, we're going to rise above the negative. No, we need to get just like these people. At the end of the day, if he going to do some crimes, because at the end of the day, I don't care about him being like immune to all of the crimes that he did thus far, like with the 48 counts or wherever the counts were at this point. I don't care about that. I care about the crimes that he's going to commit if he is elected. Imagine that. Here's some of the things that he can get away with. I got him in a list, honey. Should he ever wanted to take out a political rival, immune. If he ever wanted to organize a military coup to hold on to his power, and mind you, don't act like he's not opposed to doing that because he tried to do it with the last time when Biden got in, when he lost, or any other nefarious acts. He's going to do it, and he's going to be immune. This is how Trump becomes a dictator. This is exactly how. They were able to the Supreme Court. Y'all are out of control. Who thought of this? Who thought this was a good idea? And if given to a person that's in the wrong hands, in which Trump is definitely in the wrong hands if he gets elected, who's to say anybody else that comes into office, he can literally not step down as president. He will be the president forever. That is some dictator ass shit. Excuse my French. It's crazy. It's terrifying. I'm taken back by it. It is definitely something that people need to think about. And at this point, I know, just like I said every other episode when I get into this topic, I'm not telling y'all to do anything. Y'all can do what y'all want, but I hope y'all make the right decision. Because it really does depend on us. I know a lot of people think that, our votes don't matter, or our voices don't matter. Our voices don't matter separate. But when we are together and we choose, we still do choose, even though they want to talk about the whole, when it was Hillary and Trump, like the elector ended up making the decision or whatever. Yeah, but if it was a landslide, I imagine they wouldn't have went with Trump. Okay, it was, I don't know. That's all I really gotta say. I'm very limited when I get into politics, but I just know that this is some really shocking news, and we don't know where else this can go. I hope it doesn't go any farther than this. I will be voting because, honey, we can't have this man up in there. No, not at all. I cannot. Anyway, that is it for the show. I hope you guys have a happy 4th of July, because by the time I'm posting this, it's going to be 4th of July. Yeah, because I wasn't going to make no content that day. I wasn't, because this is my day off. So I'm enjoying it, eating some hot dogs and hamburgers by the time you're listening or watching this podcast episode. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed the show. Please leave a comment. If you're on Spotify, there's replies. Follow me. Leave a rate. Give me a 5-star rating if you can, or give me a rating. If you believe I deserve a 1 star, give me that 1 star. Okay, because I ain't do my job. Okay, so I can make this show better. All that and more. So see you guys later.